for more is Dino Aquino, Vice President for Fixed Income Trading at Security Bank Asset Management Group. So good to have you back here, Dino. Welcome to the
Good morning,
program.
Kathy. Thanks for having me again.
I couldn't help but laugh along with you with that head shake. That was the first time
I was
I've
looking
seen
at the video with the publicity stunt with Trump.
But that wasn't a publicity stunt. I mean, he really shot back at
yeah,
the president.
he did. And he's been beating up Jerome for quite some time already.
I know, and when it comes just a few days before the Fed decides, that means a lot. Because he's now going to, have to decide whether he cuts or not. But do we even care at this point?
Yeah, that's the question. Do we care at this point? I watched your interview with Governor Remolona. I think it was it last month, right?
That's correct. The day after he cut rates.
He cut rates. He did mention two important things, and then it caught my attention. He said that actually decoupled in terms of our inflation and growth, because our inflation is below target and our growth is strong, while their growth is negative. So with those two factors, it's already decoupling. And he also mentioned the possibility of 50 basis points interest rate differential, and that's at the time when the tensions with Israel and Iran were ongoing. So the fact that he mentioned those things already at a very risky time in the market is already a good sign that the BSP is already looking into decoupling from the U.S.
Decoupling meaning cutting a lot more.
Cutting a lot more.
Or cutting faster.
Or
not waiting for the Fed.
tightening the interest rate differential to 50 basis points. Because right now, I think the comfort zone where the markets are looking at is around 75. So 50 is a bit, I think, tight for some market participants. But as per Governor Remolona, it's a possibility at this point.
Well, what do you think? I mean, it depends on your inflation rate forecast for June. I mean, we thought 1.4 was already the slowest it could get. But I'm getting that it could even get slower?
I'm looking at around 1.2% for this month, partly because food prices have gone down a lot the past few weeks, despite the typhoons and all. We did our recent rounds in the wet markets, and the prices of pork, vegetables, and rice have significantly gone down. So that would put the inflation rate, I think, a lot lower.
Okay, so 75 basis points of a rate cut, do you think?
Our house view is one more, 25 basis points. But Governor Remolona mentioned two more, a possibility of two more. Even Secretary Recto mentioned two more. So there's that possibility, but I think 25 is a lock.
Okay, let's link up the zero tariffs.
Yeah.
The thing that Secretary Go made a mention of, zero tariffs on some U.S. products.
Yeah.
Pulling down prices of consumer goods. Presumably that would lift growth.
Yeah,
but then again, we're getting the message from Diwa Ginigundo just a couple moments ago
he
that
mentioned
it could have an effect on our trade deficit.
Yes.
And worsen and lower, slower growth.
If you look at the peso, it's quite strong this year, the performance. So there's a tendency that we'd import more than we would export given the tariffs. So that would essentially slower the growth projections for this year. So that would induce probably higher trade deficits. So that would even slower the growth. So I think that's an important thing that we can consider moving forward. So the BSP is already on top of it by already mentioning the possibility of further rate cuts.
But whatever happened to consumption-led economy? I mean, exports are just a small part of the full GDP.
Yeah. I think what Diwa was mentioning also was the ability of the Philippines to import more from other countries. Like, for example, China will dump all their... I think Professor Abola also mentioned this last time, that China will continue to dump their goods because it's too expensive to ship to the U.S. So they will dump their goods here in the Philippines. So that would also push inflation a lot lower because there's a lot of supply of goods here. Yeah.
All right, one to watch then. And what happens next week?
Yeah, what happens next week? But some dissent is already starting. If you, I think one of the Fed officials, Waller, he's been very vocal that they should cut rates this July. I don't know if he wants a Fed job. So.
Well, we have to see that.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Dino Aquino, for joining us of Security Bank Asset Management Group.